everybody, and welcome to this special on Mercury in Aries that happens from the 10th of May right up until the 31st of May, and that's when it enters Taurus. So when Mercury is in Aries, and Mercury's just gone direct from out of retrograde, it flip-flops from Aries to Pisces, so now it's direct, it's shifting from Pisces into Aries. So transiting Mercury in Aries brings a surge of assertiveness and quick thinking. Astrologically, Aries energy is all about, that fiery passion, that leadership, initiation. Mercury is the planet of communication, and when it moves through this assertive sign of Aries, we may find ourselves speaking up for others and ourselves more, becoming more direct in our communication and also more impulsive in our decision making. So because Mercury in Aries encourages us to speak our minds with more confidence and clarity, we can just be more happy, more open to expressing our opinions. Still, we have to be aware of coming across as too aggressive. So practically on the practical level, the actions that we need to take when Mercury's in Aries, or best to take, is taking quick action, tackling our problems head on, confronting them rather than avoiding them, starting new projects, and just things that require you to step up with courage and leadership. So whether this is in your job or in your own wellness routine or anything like that. So on the worldly, materialistic level, people can become more competitive towards achieving their goals, focus on gaining more personal success and recognition. So just try and remember, it's not a competition, this is a note to myself as much as anyone else, and just watch out that people can become more dog eat dog right now, so overstep you on any promotions and stuff like that. And if you do find that someone's going behind your back, I know you may want to be fiery about it, especially if you have a lot of Aries, Leo, Sun or Sagittarius energy in your chart, or Scorpio. So but just try and rise above it and just focus on your goal that you're trying to achieve, or your goals, rather than fall into arguing with someone, and this can cost you that promotion or that thing you were going after. Politically, also confrontations can happen quickly between officials and members of parliament and leaders and stuff like that. People can become more pussy in their communication style because they can just be more direct right now and want quick resolutions, and people can be like, I want you sorted now, trying to take shortcuts which could have consequences in the long run. And we all know that a lot of decisions that governments can make in the long run that don't work, but only in the short term, which is genuinely for them to get elected. So individually people can focus on gaining more independence, taking bolder steps towards making progress in their lives. People's voices can be more stronger, and they can demand to be heard during this time more. Psychologically, it can give us that sense of urgency. People can become impatient. They can also be a strong desire to go after what you want and speak your truth right now, as I said. And because of this strong desire, also psychologically can lead to burnout. So just remember to take some time out and be open to the things that other people say as well. So emotionally, people, because they want more independence, they can be more motivated to break through barriers or limitations that may have been holding them back for years or decades, because this energy can bring mental clarity, especially when it comes to our thinking and communication. And it encourages us to trust our own instincts and to take bolder steps towards our self-expression and growth. Symbolically, Mercury in Aries represents speaking our truth and courage. As I said, it wants us to be proactive and fearless in expressing our thoughts and ideas, and it can make us have breakthroughs, especially in areas to do with communication. So if you sell or market anything, or if you're writing anything, or if you've been holding, stopping yourself and saying something, you could let it go now, let it rip and just be like, tell the other person what you feel about them. Others can do this to you as well. So basically all limitations and barriers to expressing ourselves can be broken, and people can just have more passion and stand up for their values and stand up for truth and just be more convicted and, not living up to what others want them to do and living up to what they want to do. So yeah, creatively it allows for us to explore new ways of thinking and communicating. It can inspire us to be more innovative in our ideas and creative projects and visuality in expression, and we can embrace this energy to unlock our creativity as it pushes us to think outside the box and communicate with fresher perspectives, with a newness, being open to debate and to challenging what we believe to think is true about the world and ourselves. So yeah, ultimately Mercury in Aries encourages us to be direct and honest in our interactions, creating authentic connections with ourselves and others, speaking from the heart without holding back, and embrace our inner fire and approach life with more of a fearless attitude as we become more assertive in our communication and allow ourselves to play around with our communication creativity, using that courage to speak your truth, take risks, trust your instincts and go after what you want to achieve right now, especially in terms of communication, with more passion and determination. And this energy supports us in breaking free from limitations to do with the way that we express ourselves, embrace change in the way that we communicate, and to step into our authentic selves unapologetically being you, obviously respecting other people's boundaries, because sometimes we can forget, yes, it's okay for us to be who we really are, but we have to allow others the space to do that. Who we are can't override who someone else is, because we're not giving them the same privileges as ourselves. So actively listen, pause when you're having discussions, allow yourself to state what you need to state and allow the other person to do so as well. So overall, on the positive side, Mercury in Aries wants us to tackle challenges head on, express ourselves with confidence, but we just have to watch out for hasty decision making or speaking without thinking things through, and coming across as insensitive or aggressive in our communications. The best use of this energy is to brainstorm, assert boundaries when needed and respect other people's boundaries, engage in debates and negotiations as it brings us more clarity and conviction to stand by what we believe in, and to avoid disaster in communication, practice active listening, be mindful of responding impulsively, and just use this energy to tackle the challenges that come up with more passion. And this can just lead to us having discussions that have more of a fresher sort of perspective right now. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how the following aspects that Mercury is making when it transits into Aries this year, and the transits that it makes are said to flavour the whole period while it's there for the next 20 odd days. So yeah, first aspect is Mercury making a sextile to the moon, so this can create emotional intelligence and receptivity in communication. It can increase our intuition and the ability to express our feelings effectively. Mercury makes a conjunction to Chiron, and this offers the opportunity for deep healing through communication. It encourages us to address old wounds and seek solutions through understanding and empathy. Mercury also makes a biquintile to the ascendant, so this allows us to be more creative, supports us in self-expression, so we're really supported to stand up for what we really believe in. Even though it's a solar energy, it supports innovative thinking and finding unique ways to get our ideas across. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Transiting Mercury in Aries can lead to impulsive communication or conflicts that can come from speaking too bluntly without considering the feelings of others. The moon set style to Mercury can increase our sensitivity to criticism or emotional overload, and this can cloud our ability to think rationally, and this can lead to misunderstandings. Mercury makes a conjunction to Chiron, and this can make us have painful memories and trigger sensitive topics that require delicate handling to avoid, because if we don't do that, we can cause further emotional harm to ourselves or others. So again, as I said earlier, active listening and giving each other a safe space to be open. Even if someone's saying things you don't like, try to get to the root of what they're actually saying, because a lot of the time it can be angry in the way that we express stuff. But if you try to listen not to the anger in the way that someone's speaking, but to the message, the core message of what they're trying to get at, and give them grace for maybe projecting their own feelings onto you, and take responsibility for where you have actually contributed to the problem as well. So yeah, Mercury's bioquintal to the ascendant helps us to find a balance between being original and being understood clearly by others. So this supports us in, being more heard and, open to, conflict resolution rather than just wanting to get our own way all the time. And Mercury semi-square to the midheaven can cause tension in career-related communication or decision-making processes. It can lead to disagreements with authority figures or challenges in finding a sort of like harmonious approach to expressing sort of like ideas in professional setting. So yeah, overall, the astrological energies bring a mix of clear communication, emotional depth, and give us healing opportunities and helps us with our creative expression. It's essential to balance assertiveness with sensitivity, innovation and clarity, and also for us to be more sort of like self-reflective as well, supports us in that, and being more practical in, taking the risk that we need to transform the things we need to transform right now. So yeah, also at the time of Mercury going into Aries, there's a stellium between the Sun in Aries, Jupiter in Taurus, and Uranus in Aries. So yeah, a stellium happens when 3 or more planets align in the same zodiac sign, house or degree orb. So yeah, a stellium can amplify the energy and influence of those planets on our day-to-day life. So a positive stellium energy is that it can increase our focus, our motivation towards our goals, increase our opportunities for growth and transformation. It can deepen a sense of purpose and clarity in our life, and it can help us with our personal development and achievement. Negatively, a stellium can make us feel overwhelmed or overburdened, and it can make us sort of like experience more power struggles and conflicts within ourselves and others right now. And we already know, because Mercury's in Aries, this is amplified anyway, and now this energy intensifies it. Stellium, it can just bring problems with us managing our aggressive energy versus us just being assertive. So just make sure, as I said earlier, respect other people's boundaries. Try and pick the words that you use. Don't not stick up for yourself, but just be mindful. It can just make us feel more sort of like unpredictable, bring intense pressure to some of you, especially those with a lot of fire energy in your chart, or first, 9 and 5th house energy in your chart as well. So we just need to be flexible right now and adapt and build our resilience, taking action and focusing on our individuality and taking leadership of our life, or anything else we need to take leadership of, and just go after what we really want with more passion and confidence. And Jupiter in Taurus brings luck, expansion and stability, and it can help us grow in our material financial success, or just make us look at our financial matters and stuff like that, and make any changes that we need to save more money or to earn more money. Uranus in Aries brings and adds more unpredictability, so it can be a double risk of sudden changes, and this can lead some people to rebel, especially if they feel like their boundaries are being overstepped as well. So use this energy to be more innovative and to have breakthroughs, like I was saying earlier, and focus on your own self-expression and growth rather than trying to force change on others. Stay open, flexible, finding the balance between taking actions towards your goals and being open to helping others do so as well, and taking time out to think before you act or react, as well as sort of like being prepared to overcome unexpected changes and random events that can happen right now as well, especially in the area of communication. So stay focused on your specific goals, maintain a deep sense of purpose and clarity in your life, and use the energy of this transiting stellium to push you towards more happiness and success. So now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings, the lessons and past life implications of transiting Mercury in Aries. So from a karmic perspective, it can bring the past lives where we may have struggled with speaking up for ourselves and asserting our opinions to our attention. If you do this sort of work, then you may consciously work through this. You may just have dreams on the subconscious level, or the things that happen right now, your experiences with communication, especially with others, can be linked to past life or early life sort of like experiences of this life. So the karmic lessons surrounding this transit involve learning how to express yourself more confidently without trampling over other people's boundaries, by balancing assertiveness with empathy, understanding the power of words in, sort of like shaping our relationships and learning to communicate more effectively without causing harm. Individuals are, being asked with this energy to resolve past life patterns of either silence or aggression in communication, finding a more harmonious middle ground where their voice is heard but not at the expense of others. And it invites us to be self-reflective on our past communication styles and look at how they have impacted our personal growth and relationships that we're currently in, and they sort of like give us the opportunity for healing and growth through conscious self-expression. It pushes us to embrace our voice and express our opinions with courage and face, or start or continue the work to face and heal our unresolved issues that are related to self-expression from our past lives or earlier on in our current lives. Ultimately, the energy of Mercury in Aries pushes us to confront any fear or hesitation around speaking up for ourselves and embrace being more authentic and being unapologetically true to ourselves. So now I'm just going to talk about the positive and negative influences that transiting Mercury in Aries have on different types of relationships. So in terms of our family relationships, it can just make us more open and honest in our communication, and we can create stronger bonds and mutual understanding with our family members or members of our household. It encourages us to be more assertive and independent within our sort of like family dynamics, but it can negatively make us impulsive, and this can result in heated arguments and misunderstandings. And so we just have to try and be more patient at this time and diplomatic, being open to listen to other people's ideas even if they don't agree with ours, to maintain sort of like harmony in the household. In terms of friendship, it can bring exciting and stimulating conversations and a sense of energy and enthusiasm to our social interactions. We can feel more inspired to express our opinions and go after new ideas together, and this can just bring a more dynamic atmosphere to our friendship circle. But because we can be more assertive and direct in our communication style, this can bring up clashes of opinions in our friendship groups. So yeah, it's essential for us to actively listen and consider different perspectives to prevent misunderstandings. In terms of co-worker relationships, it can increase our productivity, make us more efficient, and work with other people more nicely and be more clear and quicker in our communication and decision making in the workplace, which is good. And it can just bring a sort of more positive working environment. But negatively, because of ego clashes and competitiveness, we can sort of like have power struggles or conflicts in the workplace. So we have to try and remain professional, focus on teamwork and conflict resolution. How can we solve this rather than, reacting impulsive and making the matter 100 times worse? In terms of committed relationships, it can help us have a deeper understanding between partners, as it encourages us to be more open about discussions and our feelings, needs and future goals. It creates more of a stronger bond based on transparency, but negatively it can lead to disagreements and arguments if we don't handle the way we communicate and listen, especially with care. So again, we have to practice patience and empathy in our relationships to avoid unnecessary friction. In hookup relationships, it can, bring a spark of excitement and passion, and this can lead to us being more spontaneous and creating more enjoyable interactions with ourselves and others. It can also make it easier for us to express our ideas and intentions more openly and just create more of a sense of thrill and adventure. The impulsive nature of Aries combined with Mercury's influence can just lead to misunderstandings or conflicts. If boundaries are not clearly set or communication sort of like breaks down. So it's important that you are honest about your expectations and intentions to prevent any potential misunderstandings or hurt feelings. So just be honest. Don't tell someone you want a long-term thing if it's just a short-term thing, even if it's just your ego that just wants them. We have to respect other people's boundaries and remember consent issues as well. So just be honest rather than lead other people on in hookups. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm just going to talk about how Mercury in Aries affects career, personal, spiritual and educational development. So in terms of career development, it can make us more confident and assertive in communication, and we can just feel motivated to take on new challenges overall and go after our goals more passionately and just be more open to, being. But again, just watch out for being too aggressive in the workplace. On the personal level, speak your mind, assert your boundaries, become empowered, be open to the self-expression and assertive energy that Mercury in Aries brings. But just watch out for being impatient, quick-tempered, as this can place a strain in our relationships. And spiritually, it can just bring more of a stronger connection to our inner selves and a renewed sense of purpose. And we can feel more inclined to explore new spiritual practices or engage in introspection. But on the flip side, it can make us more overly self-centered or egotistical and get in the way of true spiritual progress. We can sort of become more mentally flexible and agile in our educational goals. It allows us to be more quicker in our thinking, and we can find ourselves more sort of engaged in our studies and taking more of a proactive attitude. So just going after getting all your research done, loving finding out new things and writing those articles and essays right now. We can also be more open to absorb information more quickly because Aries rules the head. But negatively, we can become bored easily, restless, and this can lead to difficulties in focusing for extended periods, and this can impact our academic performance negatively. So just make sure you do things to naturally increase your focus right now. So sleeping right, eating right, taking rest, bringing some fun into your studies as well. So now I'm just going to finish up with talking about the best things for creative professionals, entrepreneurs, alternative healers, lovers and singles to do when Mercury's in Aries. So creatives, because we can be brimming with new ideas and inspiration, it's a great time to start or restart projects or experiment with techniques and bold concepts and express yourself more freely. But just watch out for taking on too much and wasting the energy completely. Professionals can use this energy to just be more confident, step up, take on those leadership roles, manage your routine, listen to others, start new projects, finish projects, and just, be open to listening to others in the workplace, and this can lead to more positive outcomes, especially in challenging sort of like situations. Entrepreneurs can benefit from pioneering the energy of Mercury in Aries by exploring innovative ways to expand their businesses, launching new products or services, and taking calculated risks to stay ahead in the market. Alternative healers should focus on promoting self-care and healing practices that align with Aries' fiery energy. It's a good time to introduce new healing techniques and offer, workshops or classes, or restart old workshops that other people have been asking for or need, and connect with clients who are seeking transformative experiences. So lovers should use this energy to be more spontaneous, follow their passions and adventure in relationships, and express feelings more openly, and try new activities together and embrace the thrill of romance. Singles can use this time to go after love and connections. They might find themselves drawn to confident and assertive individuals who embody the fiery nature of Aries. So it's a good energy to take risks in dating and approach potential partners with more enthusiasm and being open to exciting new encounters. Embracing independence and self-assurance can sort of like attract like-minded people to you who can appreciate your authenticity and passion. So that's the end of this very in-depth analysis of Mercury transiting in Aries. Take care and see you next time.